Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia, and I'm with you with the area of ABFM. And that is what we'll be talking about is organizing. Okay. So when we talk about this particular topic, what do you mean by this portion? If you talk about ABFM, there are various functions of management that are covered in this area, right? So when we specify about this topic, what are we going to talk about? That is, excuse me, organizing as a function. How is organizing a function? Organizing can be defined as a function where organizing is basically whatever we planned about, whatever the plan was, we will use that particular plan. What will we do is basically collect all the resources that is required, all the resources, finances, all the things that are required for this particular work would be dealt with here, right? So that is something that helps us to understand the entire working of the organization in terms of achieving their goals. So when we specify the term organizing is nothing but whatever we decided as a plan, we will arrange all the resources for the same. That is what we define as organizing. The principles of objective means there are various principles of objectives. Now the principles of organizing, there are overall, I think there we have around 6. We are still left with 4 to 5 more. So there are overall 11, 12 principles of organizing. The first one is principle of objectives. Do you know the entire organizing is run by objectives? We define a particular objective, then we run towards achieving it. We make the arrangements that are required. We try to solve the problems. We try to achieve those objectives. We clear a goal and then we run towards that goal. That is principle of objectives. Organizing is basically objective driven. It is driven by that particular objective that we decide and then work upon it in a proper manner. And then the next point is principle of specialization. When we talk about principle of specialization, it can be stated as something that specialization can be defined as, see, if I do a particular task time and again, right? So what will happen? I'll become good in it. For example, I am someone who is given the particular responsibility of finances, right? If my duty is to maintain the finance, and that is principle of specialization that we're talking about. That means by doing it time and again and having more and more exposure towards that working, my working will automatically improve. That is what we define as principle of specialization. Then the next is principle of coordination. Coordination is a part of organizing. Why? If I have to arrange the material and if I don't arrange the material properly, then there would be a major trouble. So that means I need to coordinate with people. How do I work? How do I achieve those objectives? So there's a principle of coordination involved in it. Next point is principle of authority. In terms of authority means the power that I have. Power to command. If I am organizing things, that means I am going to arrange the things for myself. I need power. Power to command over others, that this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I can delegate the work to them. I can specify what they need to do. That is, I need the power to command, not the simple power. I need the power to command, and this power to command comes from what? This power to command comes from the hierarchical structure. Hierarchical, okay, HIE. I'm sorry for them writing there. It's hierarchical structure. Because of the hierarchical structure, the authority is developed for one particular person and it might not be there for the other person. Then we have the principle of responsibility, which talks about the organization. See, If you give power to someone, you also give the responsibility for the same as well. So if there's any damage, we tell them you are responsible because you were given the power to handle that particular task. So that means with the 30, we also give responsibility. That is obligation to answer us regarding that particular thing in detail. Then principle of span of control. What do we mean by the span of control? The number of people I can control under me is called span of control. That is something in up to which area, whenever anybody is going beyond the management, right? How can I control them? That is, the span of management is number of people that I can handle under myself, and to what extent I can come back to the particular goal of the organization if there is any deviation is termed as principle of span of control. Then principle of balance. Balance would mean arrangement of all the resources that the organization is requiring and how do they manage all those resources. Then principle of continuity. Always remember, not only having the resources will make sure that the organization is going to survive. They can survive only and only if there is a continuity from their side. How do they work upon the particular continuity in terms of their working? That means in terms of organizing, you cannot stop. You have to keep on organizing all the resources, all the working that we are doing. Everything has to be specified in advance, right? Principle of unity of direction and unity of command. Both of these points relates to the area of the principles of Henry Fayol there. Principles of unity of direction can be specified as one organization, then one plan. If the organization is working, then they should not have multiple plans to achieve, because if they have multiple plans, they would end up being confused which is more important, what should be their way of working, how they should work. So principle of unity of direction talks about one organization, one plan. Next is principle of unity of command. What do you mean by unity of command, everyone? Unity of command talks about one superior, one subordinate. Now, when we have one particular subordinate working under one superior, he knows for everything I have to go to that superior only. I don't have to report to multiple people. So he'll go to his particular superior and he'll tell them that this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm not doing. So that is something they'll be specifying in detail. That is unity of command. You should not have more than one boss, because if you have more than one boss, then you cannot work properly. How will you work properly? Because you'll always be confused to whom I have to report, to whom I should go first, and what particular work should be given priority. There's a confusion there. That is something that we specify as principle of unity of command. And the next one is principle of exception. Exception means up to this limit, we can let go of the things. We cannot control everything now. So there are certain things that we will not be worried about. So if we are not able to reach as per the standard, we can leave this part. That is what we specify as principle of exception. Then principle of simplicity. Simplicity talks about do not have any complex situations or complexities in the working of the business. This hampers or slows down the entire process of working. Then principle of efficiency. Efficiency talks about utilization of resources in a cost efficient manner. Whatever we have resource, if we properly utilize that, proper utilization of the resource. That is something that we define principle of efficiency as. Then the next point is scalar chain. What do you mean by the scalar chain? Scalar chain is scalar principle can be defined as a hierarchy, and in order to achieve the goals, we are under a specific pressure. How do we look forward to it, and how are we trying to achieve those goals? That is something we can specify as a scalar principle, right? Actually, this is what we can specify as span of control. So this is where one particular person handling all these three, and whatever the goals are of the organization, if there is any deviations, and if he is working upon all these people, he is making sure that he is having a word with them, reporting, and authority is there. And when the authority is there, there is also responsibility. These people are responsible for whatever they are doing, right? Okay, now what happens after this? There's one particular term called delegation that we need to study, and there's another called decentralization. What's the difference between the two? Delegation is what? Just giving the power to your subordinate. More or less, I can say delegation is one superior saying that I cannot do the work on my own. So I think I'll need your hand. So he shares his work with his subordinate. That is what we define as delegation, giving the work to the next level. While when we talk about decentralization, sharing the power at multiple levels, it is in plural form. That is something which we define as decentralization. In terms of decentralization, we will specify whether we will be able to work in a proper way or not. What are we going to do about the working there? That is something that we'll be specifying as delegation or decentralization, right? So this is the difference between the two. Delegation means sharing the power to the next level, while decentralization means sharing the power even at the lowest level is something that we can be defining it, because in terms of delegation, we'll be sharing it only with one of the juniors, while in terms of decentralization in an MNC, the lowest level is going to have the power to make decisions that will help them to work in a better manner, because otherwise he'll have to keep on asking, what should we do? The class is there at 7 to 7:30, and then I have another batch for JIB classes would be starting from 7:30 onwards. Okay, so when we talk about the topic, these are the differences. So let's talk about the next terminology. Here comes the first question, everyone. It is the most oldest and simplest method of administrative organization. According to this type of organization, the authority flows from top to bottom in a concern. The line of command is carried out from the top to bottom. The organization stated here is matrix organization, line and staff or functional organization. There are different kinds of organizations that we study in terms of organization structure. Matrix is basically in that way something that we find in terms of an MNC, that we develop some projects and then we work upon according to those projects. The organization is divided. Line organization is the simplest form. This is basically superior, then his subordinate, then his subordinate. That is something that we define as line. The line and staff has the development of different functions as well. Then we talk about functional organization. Here we divide the entire working into selling, admin, production, sales, advertising, distribution. So we have different functions on the basis of which we define how people are going to work. So the oldest form is line organization. Why? Because under line organization, there's just one chain of command. Earlier, this was the only way of working. Over the period of time, it has grown as a better method. Right? So the answer is line organization. Here comes the next question, everyone. According to this concept, the work and authority is divided amongst the many subordinates, and the manager doesn't supervise and control a very big group of people under him. Narrow span of control, delegation, centralization, or decentralization. If we specify this particular area according to this concept, the work and authority is divided amongst the other many subordinates and the manager. See, these people do not require a lot of people to handle them. They do not need their superior to come up and tell them what to do and what not to do every now and then. So this is a basic specific organization, this is that part of organization which is more or less very independent. So there is a narrow span of control or delegation or centralization or decentralization. When you give the power to the people there, that is something which we can specify as a narrow span of control. We are not going to handle n number of people. We will be having only limited number of people there, and the manager doesn't really supervise and control a very, very big number of people. Narrow means lesser number of people to be handled by him. Wider means more number of people to be handled by him. It looks like decentralization, but the point it talks about the group now. If the group is smaller, that means we are keeping lesser number of people under us. This is the point. So in this case, the correct answer would be A, narrow span of control. Okay. So this is where I end my session. Our classes are going on and new batches are also coming up. So if you haven't reviewed our batches yet, so kindly go ahead and check it out on our website or in our app for further details. What you can do is you can check it out. You can go on to our organization, that is www.adda247, and there you will find all the details. You can look forward to the JIB and CAIB. In terms of the JIB and CAIB Ka Mahapack or CAIB 2023, if you take up the CAIB 2023, our target batch, this batch 4.0 is here. For the batch 4.0, what you can do is you can check out all the details. This is where you will find all the details. The batch is going to start. It has just started on 10th of February only. That means this is the second day. If you haven't taken up our batch, then you should look out for our batch which has just started. Here you will cover at least 50 hours of online classes would be there. Along with that, the details of all the batches are already there. You can look forward to this particular batch. And if you are preparing for the CAIB along with all the electives, then you can check out our courses. You can use the code Y541. You'll get a discount of 81%, and this would cost you 4799.80. Otherwise, if you are looking forward to not only the syllabus but also the test series and other further details, what you can do is you can check out our Bank Mahapack. There in the Bank Mahapack, you can see that in terms of the CAIB Ka Mahapack, currently double validity is going on. That means if you're preparing, then all you need to do is you need to check out that there are test series, videos, and even ebooks are also specified. So all you need to do is you need to check out whatever is available. This includes the mock test series, video solutions, revision batches, ebooks, numerical batches, case study batches, whatever batches we are coming up. All the batches would be visible to you. All you can do is you can check out our website or our app for further details. You can use the code Y541 and you can apply it. You will get it at 7199.20, but this is for 12 months. The one was the earlier one, it was for 6 months, and that too for the only having the syllabus. In this case, you'll not only have the syllabus, but you'll also have the test series, mock test, the revision, whatever batches we are coming up, everything would be available for you. So if you're looking forward to it, then kindly go ahead and check it out and use the code Y541 to avail the discount.